Well, hello everyone. It's Deb Naylor with the Flying Stamper, and I'm here today to go over the Celebrating in Color May 2022 paper pumpkin kit. I got my kit on Tuesday, and I had fun yesterday putting it together. It is a pretty basic, simple kit, so I don't think if you follow the photos, you'll have too many problems. I'll give you a few pointers and tips with it, but it's pretty straightforward for the most part. One of the things that's really awesome about this kit is that it showcases the new 2022-2024 in colors. So I think that you'll like that. If you haven't purchased those yet, or you're not coming to my upcoming in color class, you'll get to see them. And I think that you will really enjoy them. Some of them are just beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm playing around here trying to find my stuff on my video on my laptop so I can make sure I'm coming in okay. Looks like I'm coming in pretty good. Okay, so the kit actually makes a total of 10 cards this month, 5 different designs, and so 2 of each design. So as usual, I did them as designed and then I played. So let's talk a little bit about some of the tips that I have for you. This is the tip that I have every month. So you got a basic gray ink spot. So if this is your first month getting these fabulous kits, then my tip is to only open one end of the little ink spot. And I use my paper snips, but any scissors will work, or an X-Acto knife. And the reason why I do that is because then the lid is always attached and you don't have to worry about it getting lost. It works fine. You don't need to completely remove that. Another tip I have is that your ink spots, when you're not using them, need to be stored upside down. And I like to label mine, and I just like to use a piece of cardstock so I can see what the color is. But you can actually use a black Sharpie or something like that. And the way that I store my ink spots is I took a previous paper pumpkin kit and I turned it inside out. I don't know if you can see that real well, but this is the outside of the box. So I just turned it inside out. I cut the lid off, and I've got 2 trays now that I use. So that's where mine gets stored when I'm not using them. They should be stored upside down so the ink comes to the top. And you can buy re-inkers for these, so the spots will last forever. And the other really nice thing about the spots is that they work really well if you're using the Stamparatus. I love them for that. Or if you're trying to mask off a certain part of a stamp, they're real helpful for that too. So that's my tips on that. And then my next tip is that you have some labels. And I suggest that you stamp them before you punch them out. Especially these smaller ones, they are so tiny and they tend to move around on your workspace. So if you just leave them in the holder, then they stay still and you get them nice and straight. And you always have 2 sides. So if you're not quite sure a lot of times how the alignment's going to be, that's what I've done here. I stamped it on the back side just to kind of play around and make sure it was laying out the way I wanted to. I'll show you the card I made with that in a few minutes. A lot of times these negatives can be repurposed into other projects, and I'll show you an idea that I used on one of the negatives. As far as what tools you'll need, the kit is inclusive, so if it's your first time to get a kit, you got a block, but if you have been getting kits in the past, then grab your block. You need a D block. If you have the Stampin' Up! Block set or other blocks, you can use whatever. You can look and see what you think, but you do need a D block. And then I like to use the Take-A-Pick tool. This just helps move things around, like the little dots and things like that. And then sometimes you need scissors. I don't think we really, well, I use the scissors on the negatives and a few other things. I don't think you really need them if you just do the kit as is. This month also included the tear tape, which is amazing, and you will have some left over, so that's cool. All right, so let's talk, oh, and then I always like to use this little paper piercing mat. It gives a little extra cushion. These are available for $5, And so it's just a really inexpensive way to get some cushion, especially if you're stamping on a surface that has any give to it. Sometimes with the Photo Palmer stamps, and actually even with the clear stamps, if there's give on your workspace, then you will miss part of your image. So this really helps to capture the full image. Okay, so let's talk about the projects. I am going to start with the Sweet Sorbet one first. And I made this just as designed. Nothing really difficult on this one. You're basically just a little bit of stamping. I did put mine up here instead of down here, and that was just because of what I want to use this for. And this is actually going to be a birthday card for my son-in-law later. This has a birthday in about 2 weeks. So also this kit was kind of cool this month because it included the gift card holders that were optional to put into the side of the card if you wanted to. And I did a little variation on this one because I'm giving him a couple of these meat raffle tickets for the Orting Food Bank. And they didn't quite fit with the way that the gift holder was designed. So I just left the flap out and then put some ribbon back behind, and then it will hold. And by the way, my husband and I have been selling these for the local Orting Food Bank. We've been selling them for a little over a month now. We've sold over 300. We're the top sellers in our town. And I have 8 left. If anybody wants to purchase them, let me know. I will get them to you. You don't have to do anything other than you can PayPal me or email me the money, and then I'll get them to you. One of the things that I was going to say is I do like this kit because I felt like it had the ability to make a lot of mail cards, which is something that I'm very challenged with. So I like that. I think it's fairly generic. It would be really good for really any gender, but also good for kids. All right, so that's how the kit was designed. Now, I mixed it up a little bit. The second card I did a little differently. I layered all the things from the kit on a piece of the Sweet Sorbet cardstock, and I lined it. And then I used my favorite, the Ladybug punch. And these were punched out of the gift card holder. So I didn't use all of my gift card holders for gift card holders. I used them for other things. And then I used some of the extra dots on the antennas for the Ladybug. So this is from the kit, and this is from the kit. And then these letters were from the kit. This is from the kit. No, this is from a previous kit, sorry. And so I added some basic white cardstock and then the Sweet Sorbet. Isn't that cute? So I wanted to bring punches into the equation. Okay, the next one is the Parakeet Party card. You know, I am not a green person, but I love this color, and I don't know if it's because it's just really bright and happy, but it is just a really fun color. So I've got the happy to celebrate your day, and then I've turned this into a birthday card. All right, so then let me give you a tip on this one. So after you punch out these strips, you have this negative left over. So a couple of ideas with this negative. If you lay it on your card base, then you know where to line these up. So let me put it on the other side here so you can see that a little bit better. Now, I did not do this when I made my card, and nor is this original idea. I saw it on the Paper Pumpkin Facebook fan club page. Somebody suggested it. So if you lay it like this, then you know where to put your pieces at. So you can lay it like that and then lay your strip in here and glue it and et cetera, and put it back in. What I did, and this is what I always do when I'm doing things like this, I just always kind of go from the outside on both sides, and then I space it out in the middle. So mine is a little bit different probably than if I would have used that, but it works. Okay, so that's how the project was designed, or the kit was designed. So I wanted to put a little more feminine flair on this color because I love it so much. So I got the daisy punch out, and those again are punched from the gift card holder. And then here is that negative again. So what I did was, here's your negative. I trimmed it off. And then I just glued it onto the card base. And then I brought the 3 strips in. And then I used the 2 of the gift card holders to make the daisies. And then I actually used the layering circle dies to get that to set in the center of the circle, the brad circle. I did add a little bit of gold twine. So isn't that cute? So just another idea, and again, trying to play with my punches. Okay, Tahitian Tide. So here's the card as designed. I did go a little rogue on the up at the top. Instead of putting a label up there, I need a lot of birthday cards. And so I wanted to make these birthday cards, Father Day cards, and sympathy cards. So I've got another birthday card set up there. And this one I like because I think it could be good for male or female. If you are attending my upcoming In Color class next week, this we have a little poll going on the Facebook page. And if you're not on Facebook, I sent you an email asking you what your favorite of the 5 new In Colors was. So far, Tahitian Tide seems to be the most popular choice. Okay, next up is Starry Sky. And this is what this one looks like as designed. And I thought this might be a really good graduation card. So I've got best wishes on the front, and then I used the stamps from the kit. You can do anything. It could also be a promotion card or a retirement card, or don't put that sentiment in there, and it could be a wedding card. Okay, so here's this one. I just really went simple, you guys. I absolutely love this card base with the gold foil edges and everything. So I just kept it as is, and then I just put a couple little things on it. So I used one of the labels, and then I've got a little bit of the Starry Sky ribbon that coordinates with it. And then I've left it blank, so you can do anything. So I thought this would also be another really good card for a graduation or a promotion or retirement, or some other kind of encouragement where someone has accomplished some kind of a milestone. And then here's another one that I did. And this one I've left blank, so it can be anything that I want it to be later. Sometimes I just need to do that. Okay, and then the last one is the Orchid Oasis, which actually is one of my favorite new In Colors, although it's kind of a toss-up right now with the Parakeet Party. So this is how the kit was designed, and I actually made the gift card holder just like it's supposed to be. The only thing that I did was I had this really cute tee that I got, and it kind of fits inside that. I had to fold the tee just a tiny bit on the edge there. But I loved the colors of the tee, and I didn't realize when I bought it that it would match this color so well. So this was a Father's Day card. Some of you guys know my dad has been ill, so I'm going to actually give him this. I'm trying to encourage him to hydrate more, so I thought that would be kind of fun, and I'll probably tuck some money behind it, maybe. We'll see. Okay, and then again, trying to put a little more of a feminine twist on it. So I trimmed part of this layer off, and then I just turned the card to open this way. And I used some sympathy sentiments. So I don't know what's going on in my circle, but I have already mailed out 6 sympathy cards this month, and I need to mail out 2 more next week. So I'm getting really low on those, so I needed a sympathy card. So this is really pretty. This I just actually stamped directly on the cardstock, so it makes that window kind of look there. And then again, I used the daisy punch, and again, I used these And there was a little bit of leftover of this for the daisy punch outs, and then some basic white. So I think this is a really pretty card with the coordinating envelope. Okay, so I have one more idea for you. So you have those little gift card holders, and you saw how I used a couple of them, but here's another idea. I took 2 of them and glued them together and put a little treat, and then you guys know that for quite some time now I've been like leaving little treats for our servers and the UPS man and different people. So I put my tip in there and then a little chocolate treat. I'm going to show you how I made this. So you take these two, it takes 2 of them, and then I put tear tape on one of them, and then I'm going to attach it together. But before I do that, I'm going to actually trim it down a little bit. So you trim it down off of the second to the last ombre strip, I guess. Well, that would be the best way to describe that. And then we're going to also trim this too, but I trimmed it actually after I attached it yesterday because then I knew exactly where it needed to be trimmed. All right, now we're just going to pull off the cover on the tear tape and we'll attach it. Let's see, I gotta think about what I'm doing here so I don't glue this wrong. Well, maybe I should start at the bottom first. Oh, that works much better. Start at the bottom. All right, so you see that that side is a little bit long. I do want this to turn out because I'm running low on tip treats right now. I usually try to have 1 or 2 in my purse, and I don't have any in my purse right now. So, okay, now I'm just going to take my snips in there and trim off this extra here. And there's a little extra over here too, but I think I'll leave that on. Okay, then this fits in here, and then you can just decorate it however you want. So, isn't that adorable? I'll use a little bit of ribbon to help hold it together, and then it kind of looks cute that way. Okay, so those are my projects for the month. And if you are one of my subscribers, I will get these all uploaded to the Facebook page. You'll also see some of them on my blog over the next few weeks. And if you aren't familiar with my blog, it's flyingstamper.blogspot.com. You can find the links there to all of my YouTube videos, my Pinterest page. You can place your orders online. If you are not a current subscriber, and you are not working with the demonstrator, you can also subscribe to the paper pumpkin off of there. So speaking of that, let's talk about next month. The kit next month is called Pick of the Crop, and it looks like it's going to encompass all my favorite things of summer. Summertime picnics, fresh bread, flowers, all made for wonderfully whimsical memories. And if you'd like to subscribe to that, you need to do that by June 10th. I do have a few more tips or a bit more info on that. So it's going to be a card kit. There are 9 cards, 3 of each designs. It's going to include a free mini shopping bag that looks like your card will fit into, but I'm sure there's other things that will fit into. And there will be more shopping bags available to purchase starting June 12th. I'll have that information on my blog and on the Facebook page. The colors of the kit are Blackberry Bliss, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Garden Green, Night of Navy, and Soft Succulents. So be sure to subscribe by June 10th if you're interested in getting this kit. And I just realized I didn't mention something as I was going through these cards that I meant to. So when I did my alternates, I used all of the new In Color pads because I wanted you to see how beautiful they go with this kit. So if you're attending the my In Color class next week, then you'll have these new pads. So you might want to hold off on doing any alternates until you have your new pads because they are just beautiful and the projects are just stunning. The basic gray looks fine. I'm not putting basic gray down, but I actually really like how it comes out when you use your new In Color pads. And speaking of that, I do have a spot open for either in-person or virtual attendees. So if there's anyone that did not get signed up yet for the In Color class, reach out and let me know, and we'll see if we can get you squeezed in. I will have to know by Friday because I've got my kit prep going on and some other things before class next week. All right, let me know if you're interested in that. Otherwise, have a really great day. It looks like we might get a little bit of sun today. And thank you so much for tuning in. Check back later for more paper pumpkin fun. All right, till next time. Bye.